There we are.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What is this? This is All Things Books and Publishing. With,
This is Vaughn's Madhouse.
yeah, well, this is the land of the crazy people. And we don't mind being crazy because it's what gets us through the day. My other host, Mary Brotherton, who has been with me since before they invented electricity, and our guest, Bonnie Clark, who I absolutely adore, have since the first day I met her. She is the author of Errol's Journey, her and her husband's journey while he was with cancer. She also is the author of her new book coming out, The Adventures of Bonnie the Brave, that she co-wrote with her granddaughter, Lee Coley. Coley, I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, Lee, forgive me. And Bonnie's gone dark again. We have to lip read for a hot minute.
Eh,
And now she's back. But that happens, so we'll get through it. It's what we do around here. So, as all of you know or should know by now, you can go over to the Off the Chain Facebook page and watch this live. The chat room is open. Mary handles that. And let's see what we can find out today. We never know what these shows are going to do, where they're going to go, because they're not scripted. We don't do scripted shows. It's not any fun when an
No.
author says, "Can you send me 10 questions?" No, not happening. Mm-mm. No, no, no. Because I don't want canned answers.
Well, we can send you 10 questions, but they'll all be the same question. Are
Yes,
you nuts?
exactly. Because we don't do canned answers. We don't do scripted shows. What is the fun in that? And I will tell you the person that taught me that many, many, many years ago when I was still a mere child in the dark ages before electricity. I watched Johnny Carson and watched him interview people. And he would have his little cards, but more times than not, the cards went over his shoulder because the interview just took on its own life form. He was the best interviewer out there, and still to this day, nobody interviewed like Johnny Carson. I don't care
And
who.
even in those days when the Carol Burnett show was on,
love those shows.
everybody had a script
Yep.
except for Tim Conway. He had one, but he never paid attention to it. He just went off on his own. And some of the best shows were when he went off script.
When he went sideways, even the cast could not keep a straight face
Mm-mm.
because he was so funny.
Watch episodes.
Yeah, they're hysterical. They're fall down funny because
Hmm.
they are off script and they're clean. The two of the funniest ones is the elephant's trunk and the dentist episode,
Yeah, I love the elephant trunk.
because what's funny is watching Carol and
Harvey
Harvey Korman,
Korman and what's that Lawrence girl's name?
Vicki Lawrence
Vicki Lawrence.
try to keep a straight face. Now, if they can't keep a straight face, can you imagine what the back of the house is doing? The cameraman, the gripes, the
Well, I
set.
think the elephant trunk, the camera was shaking.
It was shaking because they were laughing so hard. So this is what we do here. If you can't handle it, bless your heart, is all I gotta say. Not in a good way either. So let's get with Bonnie. Bonnie, honey, I've known you for a hot minute. You are the mother to someone that I love very dearly, him and Lady. They are absolutely precious. How did you get here? Start at the beginning.
Okay, well, the journey started in 2012, actually. When you get that diagnosis, you have cancer. It's the worst three words you could ever hear in your life. From someone you love and somebody who's healthy as can be, and he gets that diagnosis. So the journey started. And trying to keep all the people in our lives that up to date on what's going on day by day, my sister suggested this site called Caring Bridge. So you give people a login, and every day they can go on and see what's happening in our journey. Never dreaming So day after day, when we'd go through our day, whatever it may be, still in the stages where we weren't sure what was going on, we were a confused mess, we were heartbroken, we were in disbelief on it because this is a healthy man at 58 years old. So anyway, that started the blog, and every night we'd sit down and we'd discuss the day. It was really good for us too to get those emotions out from the day. And I would type them down into the Caring Bridge. And it would go out there, and people would respond, and the prayers and everything was coming through big time. But that was the only way we could keep up to let everybody know rather than call every single person or text them, whatever. Anyway, we went through 9 months of this blog every night, the ups and downs, the heartbreak, the faith, the anger, just the gambit of emotions. It was just a gambit of emotions. So when Errol passed, it was really difficult. I took over a little while with the blog, but I didn't know where I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where to go. I was a caregiver for 9 years, 9 months being a caregiver. And one of the reasons I'm going to jump in here because that I really wanted to put this book out there was so that the caregivers know how important they are and how much they are appreciated every single day. And not always shown, but your loved one appreciates it. I knew Errol did. I mean, he told me every day, just about every day. He said, I can't believe it. I'd say, I love you. He said, boy, you must, yeah, that was it. So through the ups and downs, there's some humor in it. And I had this blog together, and I thought to myself, several times in through the years, I really would love to put this in book form, if nothing else for my own, for me, what have you. So I thought about it, and I would go through and copy the blog onto the Word, and I would but as you're going through, it took me so many years to do this because the emotions come rushing back, the pain, and I would cry my eyes out just going through the memories. So I would stop. I would just quit. I would just quit through the years and then do a little bit more, a little bit more. And so then I met Yvonne, which was the best thing ever because I had reached out to Guideposts to see if they would help me. And they gave me all this, what I needed to do, how I needed to do it. And I went, oh, heck no, it's just not going to happen. Not going to happen because I don't know the first thing about it, how to do this, no. So anywho, I don't know when I mentioned it to Yvonne. I think after I found out about Midnight Publishing, I think. I'm not quite sure when I mentioned. I said, well, but I was very self-conscious about it because I didn't really think a lot of people would be interested in it. I really didn't know if they would. But the encouragement I got from Yvonne, and it took a while because it took at least a year later. I'm still working on it and I'm overthinking it all the time. Overthinking it. Going back and changing words, trying to take last names out, I'm trying to figure out what shouldn't be in the book rather than what should be in the book. And it was really, really something. But the encouragement, Yvonne, she'd say, take your time. Every once in a while, she'd just send me a little bit of encouragement. And finally, I just said, that's enough. I'm done. I'm sending it to her just the way it is because I'm just done. And it honestly, it's your tummy flutters, your heart. I think, oh my gosh, is this really something that someone would want to read? Want to feel, other than family, and even my family, my son can't bring himself to read it. Not yet. Not yet. He can't for some reason. My daughter is going through it, but it's heartbreaking for them because they were there through the whole journey. So that's really how I came to get the book published. It's all Yvonne. I mean, what can I say? I never would have dreamed. And then the beautiful, beautiful cover and back cover and the short videos absolutely touched my heart. Like I could never have done that. I could never have made a cover like that. My cover was in my brain way before I met her was Errol. I have a picture of him sitting on a rock overlooking the mountains of Tennessee. He's just looking, just like a dreamy look out. That was my thought pattern. But oh my goodness, it would have had any of the effect that the cover that Yvonne put
The
together.
cover she
Mm-mm.
made for that book is very,
I
the
can't.
only word
Yeah.
I can think of right now is tear jerking. It's a very emotional cover, and the
Yes.
back cover finishes the story. And that's what I love about Yvonne's designs. The front cover starts the story,
Sure does.
and the
Oh,
back cover helps you realize, oh, there's a lot going on between these two covers, these two images.
yes,
And
because
her
that was
shorts,
us.
that last short that she made, because she's made several for you, but that last one, I just sat there and bawled like a baby and watched it over and over and over. I just kept hitting repeat, rewatch, rewatch, because it was just so,
It was
it
just,
it speaks to anyone who has lost a loved one. The cover of that book, yeah, it doesn't have to be your journey. It can be your mom's journey. It can be your brother-in-law's journey. It doesn't matter. If you know someone who's lost someone, Errol's journey, I think, would just be a great gift to let them know. Number one, like you said, you're not alone. Number two, as a
hmm
caretaker, you are invaluable.
exactly.
And
That's so right.
and ladies and gentlemen, what is in this book is it was not Errol's journey alone. Ultimately, we there's two things that happens in our life. We're born alone and we die alone because our loved ones, unless they die at the same time we do, don't go with us. So the journey, while it was Errol's journey, it was also Bonnie's journey.
And your
And
children's journey.
the children's journey and the sister's journey and the mother's journey and the father's journey and the auntie, it's a whole family's journey. And when the cover was created, because our publishing house is God driven, God gets all the credit for everything that we do here. As I was reading this book, I saw several things that stood out, and one was Bonnie and Errol's faith in God. That jumped out of just about every page was their faith in God and the fact that God never walked away. He was always there. All they had to do was reach out. So when the cover was created, it was created with that in mind, that both of them were walking towards the same destination, and that is the cross. And then the back of the book shows Errol going there by himself for the time being. It is not a sad book. It reaches every range of emotion, but it also gives hope.
Mm. When he's running towards the cross, when he lets go of my hand, sorry.
It's
Don't
okay,
ever
baby.
apologize for loving.
That is so emotional because he's running towards God. And all I said to him, when he took his last breath, right before he said, "I love you," and I said, "Just save me a place." No, save me a place.
Wonderful to be married to a man who the only person he wants to be with more than you is Jesus.
Right. So
What
true.
a testimony that is to his faith, but also your faith, because you and he shared a faith. You share a path. Look at Yvonne over there wiping her eyes. Don't tell anybody she's crying. It's allergies, I know. But when we find a life partner who shares our love of each other, but also our religious beliefs and our
Oh
faith
yeah.
in God, that is such a rare treasure. And Yvonne and I both know this because first time around, we didn't have that. And then the second time around, God said, hey, hey, my good and faithful servant, I'm awarding you with this other partner. And
My first.
Bonnie's
Mm-mm,
first husband was not a nice person either. So we
no.
all have that in common. When I did that first short, I have to honestly say that that was a God moment in a big way because I didn't have to revise that short at all. When it popped up, I said, "This is it."
Exactly. It was remarkable.
I don't have to do
Absolutely
anything
remarkable.
else to it because this tells the tale. And for Bonnie to trust the process, we preach that all the time, trusting the process and trusting Midnight Publishing to allow us to take something so precious and so personal and so close and put it out there for the world. And if it helps one person, just one person, then it was worth her ripping that band-aid off again and again and again and again to get that book ready for us. And Bonnie, I appreciate that and love you so much for it, honey. That,
It's I've heard so many people say that it has changed their, I shouldn't say so many. I've heard some people say it's changed their lives. It has changed their faith in God. It has really renewed or strengthened their faith.
we're going to
And
talk
that's a
about that
blessing.
next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is our class for
Hmm.
February. Trusting the process is part of it's the overall lesson. If I hadn't learned to trust the process, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's easy for us as women of faith to say, "Oh, I trust God. I trust God completely." What we forget is that God puts people in our path that he is using as a tool. And we have to trust that person because God chose that person. And this has been part of my life lesson, one of my life lessons. It's okay to ask for help. It's actually good to ask for help. It's even better to accept the help that is offered to you. And when God puts someone like Yvonne in the path of someone like me, who is type A plus plus personality, we have to trust that God did that. I can sit here all day long and go, ah, I'm so tired. I need help. I need assistance. God, send me somebody. Well, you better be prepared for what he sends you because he sent me a 4 foot 11 tornado. I don't know how tall you are, but
I'm actually under four. I'm under 4'11" now. My friend Peggy Engler calls me a F5 tornado, which is the finger of God. Just
I
saying.
totally believe that. Yeah, I found out the other day I'm the incredible shrinking woman now because I used to be 5'10". Now I'm 5'6" and change.
What were you going to say, Bonnie?
No, I just, you're my kind of people. I mean, you're my kind of person. Tell it like it is. And, and consistency, the consistency in your teaching and your talks, your telling, your uh, help, just consistency is huge.
We are
And
never
that's what I see every day.
we're never at a loss or never wonder, huh, wonder what Yvonne meant when she said that. No, you know completely. If she said it, you know word for word exactly what it is. And you're right about the consistency. And that made me think about something else that you said about her encouragement. Yvonne will never tell a writer, you have to do this, except you have to trust the process. But she will not force you to do anything that you feel uncomfortable doing. She will not force you to go faster than you can go. But it's almost like Yvonne is a bystander and the authors are running the Boston Marathon. We're running. Some of us are at the head of the pack, some of us are at the back, some of us are in the middle, but we're all going, I'm tired, this is hard. Writing is not as easy as people make it out to be.
What is it?
But Yvonne is there on the sidelines going, you can do it. Yes, keep going. One foot in front of the other, one book at a time.
One sale.
Don't give up. Don't give up. And by the way, Mary, I'm waiting for a book from you. You had your heart attack 7 weeks ago. Where's my book? Where's my book?
But she knows that there is a method to my madness. And the method is this. We can keep saying, okay, I'm still recovering. And sometimes unconsciously, that might be her inner saboteur going, you know you're not up to this anymore. You know you can't do this anymore. You know you are restricted from doing this because you don't have the strength. We're not going to let that inner saboteur win.
Tell her what I just told you.
She took a nap last night after dinner for whatever reason and woke up with a start and has a new book ready to go in her head, all but for the last couple of
I might have one line, it might be 5 lines, I don't know. But there's something missing. And then when I look at it today, I might say there's nothing missing and send it off. But I sent her a book last week.
The whole point, ladies and gentlemen, is when we hit a road bump, and this is why I encouraged Bonnie to do another book. When we finish that particular path, there's no time to sit down and say we're done. You do another book, and you do another book for the very simple fact that that is your passion. And you don't let that inner saboteur go, oh, well, you did Errol's journey. You'd finished your job. Now go hike up the Appalachian Trail or something. It doesn't work that way. Not with real writers, because real writers have to write or we lose our minds. Well, some of us already have, but that's beside the point. I admit it. I'm strange. I'm unique. I don't care. And this is what I was beginning to see with Mary, whether Mary realized it or not, is, okay, you had the Widowmaker. God spared you, but he didn't spare you to sit on a couch and vegetate.
No, he did not.
He spared you for a reason. So I've given you 7.5 weeks. I keep up with how you're feeling. I watch how you're marketing. I watch your behavior patterns. It's time to get back to work. Just saying.
Because Yvonne knows me well enough to know. I mean, I didn't publish 15 books in 5 months.
4 months.
Just for, what do you call it? Kicks and giggles?
Grins and giggles.
Yeah. So I'm a writer. I'm an author. Writing is how I breathe. I've never approached the blank page. I don't have writer's block. I might have moments where I can't think of anything to write, but I find a way around that. I find things to do that lead me right back to the writing, because that's what I was put on this earth to do.
And that brings us to, I went back to Bonnie and I said, okay, Bonnie, it's time. You know, and there's a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen. One book builds on another book, builds on another book. Because once you put yourself out there and people start reading you, they want more. They beg for more. Because you have sold them on your brand, which is Bonnie the Brave. So I said,
What
okay,
a difference from Errol's journey, right?
right. So
Totally.
I said, okay, Bonnie, I want another book. Take your time, but understand this. I am expecting another book. So Bonnie said, well, I've got something, but I don't know if anybody will read it or not. I said, send it to me. So she got with her granddaughter, Lee Cooley. And Bonnie, I'm going to let you tell the backstory of this because it is just too cute.
Well, years ago, even before Errol passed too, I mean, things just happened to me. I live by the motto, if you don't take a chance, you haven't got one. So, so I try, and I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I'm gonna try things. I'm gonna do it myself first, and then suffer the consequences a lot of time. So when I would have an episode, the first, I don't even remember. I think the first one I sent Vicky, I would send my daughter an email. I just write up what happened to me. You're never going to believe it. I would say, "Oh, here we go. Here's another Bonnieism. Here we go." So I would send her. I type it. After happening, just type up this email, and in the end, I'll say, "Well, should have done this or should have done that. Whatever." And they're gone. I never kept them. I never kept any of the emails. I just sent them to her, and that was it. Now this went on through the years, and she kept them all. And I'll never forget. We were driving to Nashville, the two of us, and she said, "Oh, Mom, I've kept those emails. I really," and of course, I forgot about a lot of them. You're talking 5, 10, years and of these. And she started reading them. Honest to goodness, we laughed so hard in the car that tears are running. I said, "Did I really write that? That was me? I couldn't believe it." So then Leah, and she was in the eighth grade, I believe, was they had to do some kind of project, and she decided to write about her grandma. And of course, Vicky had all these emails. I don't have them now. I don't have them. So Leah writes this introduction, as you see in the book. She wrote the introduction, and then the title she and Vicky came up with, Bonnie the Brave. And she's turned it in to her teacher and got an A plus plus plus, and it said the teacher couldn't stop laughing. Couldn't stop laughing. So I kept this and this booklet on my computer. I just, downloaded it and I kept it for years now. She's 20, she'll be 22. Yeah. And she was 13 at the time. So I kept this all these years. And then when Yvonne, the book, you're right, Errol's Journey came out like that, I thought to myself, could I really put this together? Because Leah did formatting, or not formatting, but she had done a booklet, okay? But there were my episodes. They were true episodes. I mean, it's you wonder what a goofball I am. But I would try these things, and I would try do it yourself, like up there and shoveling the snow off the roof. Had my tumble off of that. Trying to open super glue with my teeth. That's another one in there. When the super glue goes, and your eyes like this shut and your mouth like glued together. I'm not kidding. I was all just wanted a little drop of glue to fix. I had a little cross that the little thing to hang it up came off. I just needed a drop of glue on that. Oh my God. Eight 8 hours later, I'm still trying to file glue off my teeth with a file. And then I tried, oh yeah, you had to read it. And then spray my eye with WD-40 because I was trying to get the glue off with WD-40.
Bonnie, I think you and I are kindred spirits. It sounds like some of my crazy stories.
Multitude of it. So I added a couple of my stories. I still have so many more that Leah didn't use. I mean, I've got so many more that'll be the next follow-up. But I do, I added a few more to it, and then I just sent it to Yvonne. Again, one of those things I looked and looked at it. I thought, you know what? I can't change anything because this is the real. This is what happened, and this is the truth. So I sent it to Yvonne, and the best compliment I could get is she couldn't stop laughing trying to format the book. Yes, but real comedy, reality.
Reality, yeah. And she could have taken this show on the road.
Step
We've
aside, Lucy.
yeah,
Here
Lucy.
comes Bonnie.
Yep, we've lost Bonnie again for some reason. She goes in and out. But we
That
there. See, she goes in and out. But we will soldier on because that's what we do. So what I did is I took the book and I decided to make it our version of a graphic novel. No, it's not. It's not a comic strip. But every chapter has a graphic at the beginning of the chapter. And Bonnie sent it back. She said, "But Yvonne, I don't look like this." I said, "It's not supposed to look like you. It is. It's a representation of the story." And so she sent it to, I think, her daughter and her sister, and they loved it. So it's coming out. It will be out either the 13th or the 15th. I can't remember. It's coming out next week. But I can't wait to get the sequel. If the prequel was fall down funny, I may have to change to depends. Who knows? Because
oh my gosh,
this
that's the best compliment I could get. I mean, you got yeah.
the that you have to think of it this way, ladies and gentlemen. We took Errol's journey, which is filled with ups, downs, hills, valleys, raw emotion, anger, hurt, love, faith, even a sense of feeling of failure, trying to keep the nucleus of the family on a positive mindset while inside you're falling apart. Been there, done that. And
Good.
then the second book, The Adventures of Bonnie the Brave, is a complete flip side of that. It is pure comedy. Just if you're reading it and you're in a group of people and they're wondering why you're laughing, tell them to buy the book because it is absolutely amazing. So, but I am so proud of you, Bonnie, my dear.
Yeah. I mean, it really, you're right when you say I put myself out there because with Errol, it's the emotions we went through. It's very intimate. Daily, emotions we went through, very much so. And then this one, people are going to really see what a goofball I am.
Now, they're going to see you as a human being with a sense of love for life, a sense of being able to laugh at yourself. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. Don't take life seriously because, A, none of us get out alive. And, B, if you don't laugh at yourself, just hang around. I'll do it for you. It's not a problem.
My husband always said I was his constant source of amusement. He said, "You're." After we were married for a while, and she goes up to him. I'll never forget it. She goes and she goes, "What are these?" And he goes, "It's her fault." Laugh lines. He said,
See, there you go. So, Bonnie keeps fading in and out. Don't know why. Her iPad's possessed.
yeah, probably.
But you have to learn to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. As a small child, I took life so seriously. I mean, seriously. But when you take life that seriously, you miss out on life. You miss out on yourself. And Bonnie has that ability to see the humor in life in general. And when you read The Adventures of Bonnie the Brave, we could have called it anything. We could have called it Bonnie the Comedic. We could have called it Bonnie the Hysterical. We could have called it Bonnie, what were you thinking?
There you go.
Maybe that's what we'll call the second one. What were you thinking? I mean, I'm a party of one, so I have to do things. I've been doing it for years. Here's another one that thinks she's a party of one, and she lives in the frozen tundra of Wisconsin and decides to shovel the snow off of her roof, a slanted roof, a 90-degree angle roof.
Yeah. We had a deck out there, and I put the ladder there so I could get, and I couldn't quite reach it because I was afraid, when you leave snow on it, it could leaks, water will always find an opening. So I'm up there, and yeah, I went to push the snow down, and I went sliding down. And on our deck, we kind of had like, we have a walk-out basement down there, so it goes down a slope. Well, my sister had some hooks on there from the summertime when she had her pots up there and everything. Well, my my britches got caught on that hook. And there, which is probably a good thing because it kind of broke the fall, although there was snow. And down I went, tumbling down the hill, down rolling down the hill. Well, you should try and see this an overweight woman in a red snowsuit trying to get herself out of maybe 4 foot snow drift, and laughing so hard. I'm sure I wet myself because I was laughing ridiculous. Thank goodness it was in the backyard, which is country in the back. In the front is in town, the country in the back. That's a small town. And I thought if some child would have seen me fall, they thought it was Santa Claus falling off the roof. And they
My
would,
gosh.
So this is just one of the stories
yeah,
that Bonnie tells, that her granddaughter's teacher laughed so hard she couldn't give her enough pluses on that A. Now, bear in mind that this granddaughter at the time was 13 years old. And
hmm
to be able to write something that prolific
yeah,
and
she's remarkable.
that enjoyable, I would love to see Lee do a book by herself because she's very, very good at what she does.
Yeah, I will collaborate with Leo for the introduction to this one. Absolutely,
Because
I will.
she's amazing. She's
She is
amazing.
amazing.
And I told Bonnie, I said, Lee's name's going on this book. So she, as far as I'm concerned, Lee's a published author now.
Yes.
But
Yep.
it was her work that started this journey of Bonnie,
Yeah.
Bonnie the.
Bonnie the Brave. She was together. You're right. I don't know that I would have done it the way, because I mean, I laughed my head off when I started reading it because again, I didn't keep these emails. So all these from way back 2010, I mean, way back, all came rushing back to me. And I'm like, did I really write that?
And also the memories, Bonnie. The memories become a movie in your head, and it's funny all over again.
It is. I have so much in my head that's it's scary.
Get it
Kind
out.
of person, my kind of woman.
Oh, well, years ago, I remember I would do songs in my head. I would make up like songs, and then I listened to the authors here with children's book. I had children's books in my head from little on. I'm not little on, but I mean, young adult on. That if I would just write them down. The inspiration now to do that has come because I I've gotten a little more confidence now. Imagine that.
And the sky's beyond this. Go beyond the sky, Bonnie,
hmm
because you have the drive, you have the passion, you have the talent, you have the wherewithal, and you trust the process.
That's what it takes. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
exactly what it
Yeah,
takes.
and
And
I'll
I got I
often,
have to be honest. I have to push myself, because you still got that little niggle back there. Is this good enough? Am I good enough? Is this real? People really gonna want to read this? Is it lame or all these things niggle in your head?
You can't
But
let
again,
you cannot let that inner saboteur destroy you.
hmm
You are creative, you are talented, and you have a craft. And the more you write, and Mary will tell you, the more you write, the more you hone the craft.
yep. And
And
the
that's
more confidence you get, the easier it becomes. I mean, in the last week, I've written 2 books that I didn't plan on writing. Most of the books that I've published in the last 6 months were books that I already had on my computer. Now, Ramonda's Extended Warranty was a brand new book. It just came to me. Well, Ramonda came to me. But the most of the books were already on my computer, so it was a relatively easy thing to say, okay, well, let me just send this one off to Yvonne. I didn't have them, I had a lot of them in individual chapters, so I had to put them into a file to make it so that it fit the guidelines. Because at Midnight Publishing, we don't do individual chapters. That's not cool. So I had to put all of my chapters into a single file. And some of them I had to think about, like 1,000 words. I had to go back and find all of the stories that I'd written that were exactly 1,000 words. That was just something weird that came about. But then for me to come up with 2 books, brand new books after my heart attack, was phenomenal, I thought. Because I kept thinking, because Yvonne said, well, why don't you send me, I think she said, Go with Angels. Send me Go with Angels. Well, there's a lot of editing I want to do to that. So I wasn't ready to send that. But these other 2 books just popped into my head, and I'm like, well, I can't wait. And this is something else Yvonne taught me. Don't think that you have to do your books in a specific order. Don't think that because you wrote this book first, like you basically wrote Bonnie the Brave years ago. And you didn't know it at the time, but you were writing those stories when you were writing emails. And then your granddaughter took those stories and made something wonderful from them.
He did.
And that happened before Errol's journey. So you
Yeah,
can't say, I have to do this book first because it's up here first, or it was on my computer first. If a book comes to you like Ramonda's Extended Warranty, you drop everything and you work on that book. And if down the road you come up with these files that you've got on your computer, okay, fine. I'll get them done when I get them done. But one thing that my heart attack taught me is tomorrow's not promised. You can't sit back and just wait until things are better.
for sure. A lesson well learned when I lost my husband at a young age, or no retirement together, no traveling together, um, all the dreams. So I tell people that are so blessed to have their spouses, and they are able to travel and do things together. I just go do it. I'm so proud of my daughter and her husband because they've taken on that, they don't wait when they can go on a trip or go away together. Case in point, this weekend, the 2 of them just getting away going to Disney. Do it. Do it. It doesn't have to be expensive things. Just do it. Get away together or just enjoy each other because you don't know. You don't know. Tomorrow's not promised. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
And
Hmm.
and what people in general, especially younger people, don't get into their gray matter is life is a vapor. We are already into the 2nd month of 2026.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Been here in Florida now 20 years. I came to Florida in March of 2006. In that time, I lost a sister, all of my aunts, my uncle, my mother, my granddaughter, my father, and my husband. And all that time, where did that time go? You can't wait. If there's something you want to do with your life, don't wait. I when I talk to people about writing books and publishing, well, I've got this and I've got that. I want to, but I've got this and I've got that and I've got this and I've got. To me, those are excuses. Because if you really are passionate about wanting to do something, there's 24 hours in the day. You schedule it, even if it's just to write a paragraph or even a sentence. You start with one word at a time. And when you have a platform like Midnight Publishing that doesn't charge for anything, editing, formatting, marketing, publishing, on all 4 formats, working with the authors on a daily basis, encouraging the authors, giving them material to promote their work with. And ladies and gentlemen, that takes time. Y'all wouldn't believe what I do here. I make it look easy because it's what I do. But when you put books up on all 4 formats, paperback, hardback, Kindle, and Audible, there is a different format for each of those books. And if you don't meet that format, Amazon kicks it back. Says, stupid, what are you doing? I'm not publishing this until you do what I tell you to do. It'll sit there. So when I see other groups, and yes, we use AI. We use it as a tool. I use AI when I drive my truck. I use AI when I watch my TV. I use AI when I use my phone. So when I see other groups getting their knickers all in a twist because of AI, I want to say, you idiot. Your computer uses AI when you type your book out.
Spell check.
Spell check. When you get a cover designer to do your covers, they use AI. They go to Adobe Stock. A lot of that is AI. Most of that is AI. When you put your covers together and use 3 or 4 different graphics to make one cover, even when you put the title on, guess what? It's AI. So don't get bogged down in dumbass excuses. I don't buy it. I've been in this business too long. I don't buy excuses. You either in or you're out.
Yvonne,
Yes, sir.
before the show, you were talking about somebody in that authors to authors support page
Yes.
and the prices they were charging.
My Lord. She said, I just reached out to 2 cover designers. One charges $500 plus, and the other one charges $700 plus, and neither one of them can get to my book until the middle of March. Excuse me? You're paying somebody that much money, and they're going to blow you off till the middle of March?
And that's just for the cover. That's not interior design.
No.
This woman put 6 children's books together for me with each book was at least 28 pages. That's one design per page. So that's 28 times 6, so say 30 times 6. It's 180, almost 200 images. And I know Yvonne well enough to know that because she sent them to me, she didn't just create 200 images. She created about 500 because I got all the others that weren't used in the books. And she did the covers and she formatted them, and then she put them on Amazon, on Audible, digital, the ebook, and paperback. And I think one of them might have been Audible. I think Grandfather's might have been Audible.
World's Best Grandfather is Audible, because I think it's Audible. Maybe not. I'm still working on getting it in hard copy. Children's books cannot go up on Audible unless they have a table of contents.
That's right.
And the reason for that is because the narrator is reading the book and they have to have a break point. Also, children's books don't go up on Audible because of the graphics.
But she didn't say, okay, this is the early part of February. I'll get to you in March. Give me 6 weeks before I can work with you. She got these done in less than 6 weeks. 6 different books with probably, if she did one image, she did 500.
Makes me think about how many potential authors get discouraged when they reach out to these companies that take their money and don't do anything for months and months and months or at all, whatever it might be. You know, it could be fraudulent, it could be whatever. But I think about how many that their stories are buried because they did get discouraged and they give up. Let's be honest.
I was
I
almost
went
one of
to
those.
yeah, it's crazy. That's really a shame. That is sad because so many have stories.
When I first, I mean, I saw Yvonne was working with Midnight Publishing, and I was like, okay, good for her. I'm happy for her, but that's for her. That doesn't have anything to do with me. And Yvonne and I've always talked very candidly about everything for umpteen years. And one day she and I were talking, and I said, "Yeah, right now," because she asked me. She said, "So Mary, where are you in your books? Where do you stand with everything?" And this was over the phone. I'll never forget it. I said, "Well, I'm in the process of looking for an agent for my novel." And she said, "What on earth for?" I said, "Well, I need an agent. I've self-published it, but I need an agent so I can get it republished with a publisher because I want it to go farther. I think this book has a potential to maybe be a Netflix special or something." And she said, "I'm going to ask you again, what on earth for? Don't you realize how valuable your precious time is? You're wasting time." She said, "How many agents have you emailed?" I'm like, I don't know, maybe 500. She said, "How many have responded?" I said, "Oh, at least 130. She said, "How many of those 130 said, 'Yes, send me your book?'" I said, "Well, zero." She said, "Why are you wasting your time? Your time is too precious." And whatever she said was verbatim what my husband had said the night before. And I'm like, "Gee whiz, you sound just like Curtis." She said, "Well, smart people do tend to flock together. Why are you wasting your time?" I mean, it's like a broken record with her. But I needed that broken record to get through to me because I spent months, month after month after month, asking people who I don't even know. It's not like I value them. I know I mean, I value Yvonne because I know her. I don't know these random people that are out there that I'm entrusting them to say, "Oh yes, I'll take your book and your 15% once we land you a deal." But bear in mind that's going to take maybe 2 or 3 years if you're lucky. Because once you get an agent, that agent then has to go to work. And whether or not they work hard for you or not is something you can't control. But I can tell you, anybody who knows Yvonne can see every single day how hard she works for all of us. She is not getting paid. She acts as our agent, our publisher, our graphic artist, our publicist,
Older.
Your hand holder.
and our biggest cheerleader. There is nobody who cheers us on any stronger. I told Yvonne once before, I said, "You're not old enough for this, but you act like you're everybody's grandma." She, just think about it. Your granddaughter is the reason we have Bonnie the Brave. But Your granddaughter cheers you on and you cheer her on like nobody's business. And that's
Remark.
how Yvonne does each of us here at Midnight Publishing. And there is not another publisher in the world who would make short after short after short, they might put them on their website. And I've seen this a jillion times. You go to a publisher's website or an agent's website. Oh, I got this book at this publisher. Go check it out. You go check it out. You see them there, but you don't see them anywhere else. You certainly don't see them on Facebook and TikTok and X and Instagram and LinkedIn and Mastodon and YouTube and da 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 da. Because they don't exist. But Yvonne doesn't just do it for one or two of her authors. She doesn't just do it for the bestsellers. She doesn't just do it for a minute and forget about it. I mean, this has been going on forever, from the moment she started doing this.
And you're getting more and more authors. I'm thinking, how is this woman going to ever sleep?
I don't. So it doesn't make any difference. That
She uses her insomnia for our advantage.
And ladies and gentlemen, what they're not telling you is also have no qualms about tough love. And the fact that if I am giving them tools to work with and they ignore using those tools, I'll call them out. I did it the other day on a live. I will call them out because what they are getting from us with love and dedication and purpose, somebody else that they don't even know, they would pay thousands of dollars to, and they would use it. There's no logic in that. So when they don't do what I ask them to do, I will call them out. I call my own children out. Because my philosophy is this: if you're in the right, I'm in your corner. I'll go to the wall for you. But if you're in the wrong, I'm going to nail you to the wall until you listen and pay attention and understand this is a gift, and it is a gift from God. I had no intentions of doing any of this. I was just going to publish my books and a couple of friends at church because our publisher died. I had no intentions of this taking off, but God had another plan. And he said, no, Yvonne, there's a reason I'm putting you out there. Bonnie Clark is a reason. Mary is a reason. Sherry Ann Richardson is a reason, because Sherry Ann Richardson was so far down in that well, she couldn't get out. Gwendolyn Law is a reason. Ellie Ryan is a reason. Carol Speardouse is a reason. Del Veely is a reason. Darlene J. Joe is a reason. Darlene Williams is a reason. Kathy Humphreys is a reason. Kim Carmichael is a reason. Andrea Dean Van Scoik is a reason. Because God had a plan. And I'm still not sure where God's plan's taking us. But honey, buckle up and get ready for the ride. That's all I can say. But understand that the things that I do for my authors, it's not a sense of duty. It is not a sense of, oh, now I got to go make another short. I got to go promote this book. No. It is, let's get this out there so you can be seen. And I will also protect my authors from scammers. So scammers, beware. We will call you out every time. We don't mind, because you're not going to take advantage of my authors. One of my authors got taken by a scammer. She did get her money back, but she was so distraught. I said, from now on, when you get something like that, send it to me or Mary first, because, ladies and gentlemen, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So don't allow anybody to take advantage of you. Mary gets them all the time. I get them all the time. Oh, we just love your books. We saw where your books are doing not so well. We can help you. Okay, so which book did you see? I have 20 out there. Mary's got 17 out there. Bonnie's got 2 out there. Which book did you see? How do you think you can help me better than I'm helping my authors? You can't. Don't even try.
And sometimes they'll mention a specific book, and they don't realize what they've done is they've given me a free review.
There you go.
So I take these emails where they're wanting me to give them only $109. It's always $109. Weird number. It has to have something to do with skirting under the law. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
But they'll say, if you will, oh, we can't wait to get Ramonda's extended journey out in front of tens of thousands of readers, and they'll all write a review for you. Well, fine, let them write the review. I don't need to join your book club and pay you $109. Now, it's a virtual book club, but I'm supposed to be paying $109 for snacks.
Yeah, no.
How, if somebody paid us $9 for snacks for now, how would the 3 of us get those snacks? Would we share a picture of it? Hey, look at the snacks I'm eating. It's so stupid. But they throw out these wonderfully colorful words for you and make you feel really good.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when the scammers do this, my first response back to them is, I have on one site, that would be YouTube. We are up to 4 million. Let me find it. 4,051,74,000 views. 4 million. We are on the YouTube channel on TV.
It's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
You just pull up YouTube and you're liable to see Midnight Publishing. And what blows my mind is these people think that we're stupid. But your algorithm on Amazon is not, oh, you should have more reviews. Oh, you should have this. I can help you. No, you can't. I know that it takes time. I know that Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, but Nero sure did burn it down in a day.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to burn right through my bank account. I don't have time for that. So what I did is I created on Gmail, it's called a vacation responder. It's an automatic email that goes out. You send me an email, whether it's spam or not, and you're going to automatically get an email back from me. And I always have a picture of all of my books together so they can see that I'm not just throwing out words. And I always say, thank you for your email to me or whatever. I think I put my name in there. If I don't respond within 3 days, I'm busy writing. If I don't respond at all, it's because I think your email is a scam and I don't have time for gimmicks. I need to get back to writing. Have a nice day.
Great.
So, Bonnie, if you get anything like that, just send it to me or Mary, because we will fix them.
I'll turn it into a book review post that you can share. And
there you go. It's perfect. Bonnie's fading in and out again, but that's okay because we'll make do. We'll bring her back after Bonnie.
We're learning to lip read.
The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, no other publisher is going to offer you this kind of protection because they don't care. And Mary and I have talked about this many, many times. If you are fortunate enough to get with one of the big 6, you lose absolutely all control of your book. Once you send that book to them, it is done. If you send them something and say, I'm not real happy without this cover, you know what they're going to tell you? We don't care. because you become a production line. You are in line and you become part of that production. And they do. I am not going to apologize for this. The book covers that I see coming out from the Big Six are crappy. There's no thought, there's no heart, there's no even trying to explain the story. They just slap a cover on there and move on. Because they're not going to take the time to make it personal. We make it personal. We make it personal for two reasons. One, we love our authors, and two, the front of that cover begins the story. And if we don't make that cover stand out and stands out from 4 million other books on Amazon, or 4 million shorts on Amazon, or 4 million TikToks, or 4 million whatever, then they're just going to click on through it. But when we put a cover up that it makes you stop and read about that book, or you go on Amazon and you read the description, and then there is a place on Amazon you can flip to the back cover. You flip to that back cover and you go, what's in the pages? I want to know more. That is our secret. We are very dedicated to that. And when I get a cover from an author that says, I am insisting on you use this cover, I'm going to say, are you married to this cover? Because it's not going to work, and this is why. There's no heart in it. It doesn't tell me a damn thing about what's in those pages. I've read your book. All it is a cover because you like the cover. That's not the way it works. That cover has to stand out and not blend in. Again, it's trusting our process. I know the trends. I know the marketing. I know people. And because as an avid reader myself, I know what covers grab me. And I'm going to tell you, vanilla covers don't grab me. Some of the authors that I've read for years, I quit reading because I look at the cover and I go, yeah, not today. No.
Yep.
Even the descriptions have gotten crappy. Even the descriptions that they put up on Amazon of the books are crappy. They're canned descriptions. Connie Stiegel, her book started selling this morning. And because her tagline is this, I put the tagline up. Sometimes a blind date is just not always just a blind date. Sometimes it's deadly. Errol's journey, the tagline is faith, love, and God. Mary's If I Could Be a Giant book, it's a children's book. When I was putting that book together, the tagline became, we're teaching anti-bullying here. And he goes, what? I said, go back and read it.
Yeah.
Same thing with World's Best Grandfather. Same thing with Too Many Rules. As I was putting that book together, we're teaching stranger danger. We never say that. We never say stranger danger. But the tagline is, how do you teach stranger danger with too many rules?
Great one. Yeah. I sent that to my niece's little boy.
Did he like it?
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting to hear back.
So with Bonnie, the adventures of Bonnie the Brave is, I should have called somebody. That's our tagline. I should have called somebody.
I love that.
So true. Many a time.
Because it makes the potential reader go, what? Why? Well, I will tell you this. A cell phone does not make a good face accessory. Just saying. Just saying. It does not make a good accessory for your face. It is not a diamond in the rough. It's not the new beauty mark either. No. Just wait till the book comes out. Trust me. Yeah. And when you're women of a certain age and you've had children and you decide to go to a gym, when the ladies are a little warned from feeding your newborns, and they never go down to preteen size. It just, not without surgery. So my advice, Bonnie's advice, buy a very good sports bra.
I know where that one's going.
Because if you don't,
That's right.
if you don't,
Keep the duct tape handy.
then keep the duct tape handy. Because if you don't, ladies, the ladies will make an appearance in a funny or embarrassing way, however you want to take it. Yeah. So yeah, just remember that you're not 20 anymore, honey.
Yeah,
You
they
had
have a mind of
children.
their own after a certain
They
number of
do.
age.
The ladies will reveal themselves in a not too flattering way. Ask Bonnie the Brave. So with that, I'm gonna go get ready to go. Oh, Bonnie, do you have any parting thoughts, my beautiful, sweet person?
Oh gosh, again, I encourage people so much to go to Midnight, trust the process, go to Midnight Publishing. And again, if you don't take a chance, you haven't got one.
I love that.
And
That's
if
a
you
wonderful motto.
and it's we're doing another Stanleyism, because in Bonnie said it, Mary said it. One of Stanleyisms in the book Dreamcatchers, Failure is Never an Option, and Mary's putting them up on the Facebook page, and I'm taking them, moving them everywhere else. One of the Stanleyisms is just do it. Just buy the boots.
I just love that. It's so
It's got the book, so
simple.
I'm reading.
And I guarantee you he said it before Nike did.
I'm sure he did. I know he did, because
Just the fact that, stop overthinking and do what you want to do.
So true.
and understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing in this world is perfect. The only perfect thing in this world died on a cross and is now back in heaven. We are not perfect as human beings. Our writing is never going to be perfect because we're human. And there comes a time, if you really, really, really want your work out there, you're going to let it go. The tagline of Frozen is let it go. So let it go. Don't grab it back when you give it to me, because if you grab it back when you give it to me and then you send it back later, it's going to the bottom of my pile, honey. I'm sorry. That's just the way
And
it
it's going to
works.
cost you.
Yeah, and it will cost you,
As
because
long as you trust the process, Yvonne will work for free like this is, her bread and butter. But the minute that you start trying to micromanage her, or you want to overthink and constantly keep changing things, every time $50.
yeah, it goes back to you, because you have to understand. Right now, we are up to, I think, 20 authors working on 3 or 4 more, and each author is special to me. Each author is the only author that I have. And each author gets that consideration and that special treatment because they are important to me. We are only as successful as we allow our authors to be. And we are only as successful as we allow someone else to be.
You have this uncanny way of making each one of us, I know for myself, feel like I'm your only one. That you care
Yeah.
so much about what I do, and it's just remarkable. That is a gift.
Thank you.
That is a gift.
Well,
Hmm.
It's amazing how she does that, because I know that I feel the same way. I've heard Andrea say it. I've heard Gwendolyn say it. It's it's because she's working through God and with God. God is, you know, he, he can do all things, but as God, he chooses to use people to do the little mundane things, I guess you'd say. And he's chosen Yvonne to be his special tool for us.
Hmm.
And it blows my mind when, last week when we were talking with Gwendolyn, Yvonne said, "All right, Mary, I'm ready for you to get me a book." Okay. I said, I'll give, I will. I'm not sure what, but I will. I've sent her two. Well, no, I haven't sent her two. I've sent one, and I will be sending her the second one probably today.
And
That's my
and
goal.
the thing is, Bonnie, you are the only Bonnie Clark that I have. You're my Bonnie Clark.
Goodness for that.
Mary is the only Mary Brotherton that I have. She's my Mary Brotherton. Each author they are unique in who they are. So they are the only one that I have. And I cherish that. When we learn to think beyond ourselves, and when we learn to understand that that is the way God thinks about us, I'm the only Yvonne Mason God has. I don't think it could handle two of me. But that's beside the point. The point is, I am the only one that he has who is me. And so each author that I have, that's the only author that I have who is who they are. I don't have clones. I don't have, even with twins, you have two different personalities. So each author is the only one that I have. And that's the way that I treat them. With respect, with love, with dedication, with selflessness, with understanding, with passion, with discipline, with encouragement,
Love.
because this business is a tough business. It's been a tough business ever since I've been in it. I was in it when it wasn't a business. All these newbies coming up think they know all the answers. Honey, we didn't even have the questions, much less the answers. So what these newbies don't understand is they've learned from us, they just don't know it yet. And in order for each one of my authors to be successful, I have to give them the tools to be successful. Because we have Mary, who's been in the business for a while. We have Bonnie, who's a newbie. I have Ellie Ryan, who's a newbie. I have Gwendolyn Law, who's a newbie. Carol Speardois, Darlene J. Dale Veely. These are all new writers coming into an arena blindfolded, not knowing A, what to expect, what they need to do. I see that look, what to do to make it happen. And trust me when I say you can't trust the white noise. You can't. What were you going to say, Mary?
Darlene J. Joe. She is such a new author that she came to us basically with an idea on a napkin.
Yep.
That's all it was. And Yvonne said, "Send it to me." So she wrote down like 5 words and put it in an email. "This is my idea. What do I do next?"
Write
I
the
had to take her
story.
to lunch and coach her on how to actually take her idea from here and put it into a document. I said, "You need to write the story. We're not idea generators. You need to write the story." And she did. And it was one of the best sellers for November or December, I forget which. And then right around the corner, she turned around and did a second book. And once she got the idea of how to transform her thoughts into actual words and a manuscript, there's no stopping her.
Same
I
thing
met
with Bonnie.
Dale Veely like 3 years ago, and he told me, he said, "I've got an idea for a book, but I don't know what to do." So I challenged him. I said, well, this is December 23rd. How about by February 23rd, you give me 3 chapters? Well, I think he gave me 9 chapters before January 1st. And I just kept working with him and reminding him, don't forget, I need this, I need this. And that's one of the things that we do in our classes is we help people understand the different ways that you can write. Some people don't do well with paper and pen and paper. Others don't do well with a keyboard. But we need our stuff electronically. Don't be mailing us books and manuscripts. So what we do in our classes, we talk about, and also on these Wednesday shows, the various ways that you can move your thoughts from your head to the manuscript that fits our guidelines.
And the thing is, once you allow yourself to release the creative side of your brain, like Bonnie, things come. Like Darlene J. Joe, things happen. Like Dale.
God looks at us and says, oh, you're listening. Thank you. Here's some more. Let's get to work.
Exactly. Hang on a minute. I'm having to multitask here. I can't type and talk at the same time.
I used to think I was a really good multitasker, but what I realized was I was really good at convincing myself that I could do more than one thing at the same time, and nothing got done properly. Everything was halfway done. I'd burn the cookies, or the laundry would stay in the washer too long. I was doing too many things at once. And this is one of the joys that I've learned as I've gotten older. It's okay to just do one thing and do it well.
And that is true. One of my bowling partners wants to pick me up, so I'm telling him I'll be off in about 5-10 minutes, so yes, pick me up. So anyway, bottom line, next Tuesday at one afternoon. Next Tuesday. See, I laugh at myself. They laugh at me. It's okay.
Next Tuesday at 1 afternoon. I love it.
Next Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we will be right here with our workshop. Oh, and the cost, you may ask. What is the cost, Mary?
0. It is free. We
Remarkable.
do not charge for this class, which, if we were other people, we would be taking reservations left and right, charging people minimum of $50 per person to come and sit with us and learn from us what it means to trust the process.
So again, because this is a God-driven publishing house, I have, in all good consciousness, I have to do as I am directed, and that is to share the talent and the craft. Because if I don't, then it could be taken away.
Yeah.
And
we had talked about doing it in a physical facility. And then we started brainstorming and said, well, first of all, we need a facility. Who's going to give us one for free? And if they don't give it to us for free, then how much do we charge? And then that limits us to the local people or the people that are willing to travel. And why not do it online for free so more people can come? Because not only can more people come and join us and actually ask us questions, when the workshop is done, Yvonne posts it on YouTube, on the website, and it goes everywhere that she posts things. So you can come back a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, and still learn.
It goes everywhere. It goes up on the Midnight Publishing website. It goes up on the website, and as soon as I figure out how to get it up on the TikTok site, I'm gonna put it up there. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it is another tool that I'm giving y'all, and you can join us here live, or you can join us in the chat. So plan to come. We will send the links out. Mary puts her email out there. It's authormarybrotherton@gmail.com. She will put you in charge of how to get the link, because she will send the link to you the day of. So I can also send it to you when I set it up in an email, and you can just blast the email out. Because I also,
And it's really simple. If you just go to Off the Chain, you can watch it.
You can watch it. That's our other Facebook page. You just click on Off the Chain, but if you want to come into as a guest, then Mary will send you the link to come into as a guest. If you want to join by the chat, then you go to the Off the Chain Facebook page. So I'm going to get off here. It is now 5 minutes of 12. I got to be out of here in 5 minutes. Bonnie, I love you. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you so much. I'm just totally blessed. Blessed the day I met
So
you,
glad
girl.
I got to meet you in person.
You too. Yes, yes, Mary.
So
yes.
everybody go get her book, Errol's Journey. Get all of your emotions involved. Then when the Adventures of Bonnie the Brave come out, where it depends. Just don't eat or drink.
Where it depends.
Please, no eating or drink while you'll either choke to death, or you'll pee all over yourself, or you'll get yourself wet from spitting all over yourself. So until next week, I don't think we have anybody on tap for next week.
No, I tried to make Bonnie come next week.
I know, right? Will you reach out to Sherry Richardson for me while I'm gone and see if she would like to come on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
If we don't have anybody, just be me and Mary. That's okay too. Because
Which is fine. We entertain ourselves well.
Yeah, and we'll recap the workshop. So I say this at the end of every show and the end of every live. May you have the day you deserve, and may people be as kind to you as you are to them. I love you both.
Bye.
Bye.